Welcome back to Teresa's Dead. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. I have an awful, garbage, filthy, disgusting mouth, so viewer discretion is advised, but if you're not into that or weird in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. Hello, my little darling dumpling munchkin babies. I am here with a new video about some new products that came out actually in 2023, but whatever, it's 2024, who cares, right? They're new-ish. Anyway, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Natasha Denona collection. This is the My Mini Dream collection. I love the I was about to say My Little Pony. Oh, okay. My Little Pony collection. I love the My Dream palette. It's actually one of my favorite palettes from 2022 and still one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes of all time. Y'all know I have a very weird relationship with this brand where I want to love them, but they continue to disappoint me as always, like family members. Too real? And I hate it. I hate it. That was until we had a glorious 2023, which explains why 2023 was such a wild gas leak year, because I loved pretty much almost everything that Natasha Denona put out, with the exception of that highlighter, that pastel catfish that just like irks my soul when I think about it, because I wanted that beautiful ombre moment and what they gave me was a lie. So I'm happy to say that is not the case with these products, that what you see is exactly what you get. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the My Mini Dream palette, which is this little guy right here, as well as the Glow Blush, which is right here. So this is super, super cute. So let me tell you a little bit about the products first before we dive in. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. Y'all, new year, new me, and as cliche and gross as that sounds, it's kind of true though. And the one thing that I'm making a priority this year is looking at my spending. And I'm sure we can all agree that sometimes you don't remember what you spent your money on. Well, my dear, you're in luck, because today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. I initially heard of Rocket Money from a colleague who turned me on to Caleb Hammer, who is a wonderful YouTuber, by the way. And while watching his financial audits, I started to think I should do one for myself. And that's when I started to notice that I was paying for things that I either had already or I haven't touched or used in a long time. Subscriptions that I signed up a million years ago that I'm still paying for. Funny story, I didn't realize that I had been paying for a PlayStation Plus account. I can't even tell you the last time I turned on my PlayStation. I can't even tell you. So I love that Rocket Money cancels my unwanted subscriptions. No more awkward conversations with companies. You can cancel subscriptions within the app with just a couple of clicks. Just a couple of clicks. If only I knew about them when I lived in New York and I had to cancel my gym membership, I could have had Rocket Money instead of basically telling them that I was moving to Alaska and that's why I needed to cancel it. True story. True story. And if you've been a long-time subscriber, you know the story. Not my finest moment, but anyway, Rocket Money has helped save customers an average of $720 a year with over 500 million canceled subscriptions. The other thing I love about Rocket Money is how helpful it is when creating monthly budgets. I can analyze my spending habits and also get notifications on when I'm being a little bit too much like Scrooge McDuck and need to rein it in. It's very, very helpful in that way. That said, to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/TeresaIsDead or click the link in the description to get started for free. Thank you again to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video, and y'all go support the sponsors that support your garbage queen and save yourself some money. You're welcome. The My Mini Dream eyeshadow palette retails for $27, features Natasha's favorite eyeshadow, Nurture, from her best-selling My Dream palette, alongside 4 brand new tones and finishes of that shade. This ultimate cool tone taupe constellation comes in Natasha's travel-friendly mini size, showcasing her world-famous buttery soft signature formulas. This comes in the standard Natasha Denona packaging, except we have a little bit of paint splatters on it, which I love because it mirrors the Big Daddy palette, so that's awesome. Yes, you do get one repeat shade shade in here, but you know, I'm not too mad about it because it's a shade that I actually use a lot. So I'm okay with having another one. In this little palette, you get 3 creamy mattes and 2 metallic shades. And she is everything. She is so gorgeous. This is the perfect color story in my opinion. With that said, let me tell you a little bit about the blush. The My Mini Dream Glow Blush retails for $20. A super soft hybrid powder blush and highlighter trio, the My Mini Dream Glow Blush features different tones and textures of the iconic mauve shade Natasha. Again, I love how the packaging matches the big brother. Whatever, the big brother, the trio that initially came out. In the big trio, you get 2 cream products and 1 powder. And let me tell you, I still have this and it's still so good. It's so good. It's one of my, again, favorite things that came out in 2022. Honestly, that whole collection was everything and it continues to be everything for me. So what I kind of found interesting is the shade Natasha. Now, I haven't really found, I don't know if they're referring to an eyeshadow shade or if it's just a lipstick. When I look at the lipstick, it's kind of not a mauve shade, so I don't know what they're talking about, but then I did find a lip liner that was kind of a mauve-ish shade that kind of looks similar, so I don't know if that's what they're referring to. But if someone does know the lore about this, please educate me in the comments because I failed to do so in this video, so like whatever. But anyway, she's cute. I love the pan embossing. I think this is absolutely stunning. I love that you get a little mirror here, which I didn't remove the little sticker tape thing, so sorry. I just didn't and I don't feel like it, so come at me, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, she is gorgeous and I don't want to disrupt the pan because it's so beautiful and I'm afraid that once I start using it, I'm going to f up and that makes me super sad. However, I'm really happy though that there is an actual pan design, that there's some truth to the actual promotional photos because again, I'm still holding on to that lie that was the pastel highlighter. Okay, with that said, let's start with the blush first and then we are going to do an eye look and then I'll give you my thoughts on whether or not you should pick this up if you feel like picking this up. I honestly, do you want to pick this up? Keep watching. If you don't, see you in the next video. What can I tell you? Okay. So I don't want to touch this. So what I have on my face right now is just like a little bit of foundation, concealer, and some bronzer. One bronzer that I am just utterly obsessed with, the Kosas one. I just can't stop wearing it. So anyway, that's why I have a little glow on my cheeks. So yeah, I kind of probably shouldn't have went with this one, but I am just a glowy bitch. Okay, so now technically what I could do is just really utilize these 2 shades because they are actually like the traditional kind of blush shades. Oh, but I kind of want to do it how it's suggested, which is pretty much all over the whole thing. Just f me up. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, do you see that? Okay. Oh, I mean, okay. I'm just gonna go in just with the mauve shade. Huh. It's a little, okay, you know, maybe, no, it's there. She's light. Surprised. Okay, no. Okay. Maybe this wasn't the best bronzer to kind of pair it with, only because the bronzer is kind of, what the f is this? What is, no, I see it. Okay. Okay. About to lose my shit for a second. She's light. I guess lighter than what I'm used to. I feel like the last few blushes that I played with have been so just pigmented and just really odd color for me. That this is probably the best color for me, and I'm like, I don't see it. No, I see it more on this side. This side I felt like it was a little bit of a struggle, but now I see her. But this was just after like one swipe. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe like just the top of it. Maybe I just needed to kind of keep swirling. Just, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, so it's the top layer, I feel like, that made it look kind of light and just not present, but after going in a bunch of times. But also happy to say that I didn't destroy the pan design, so that's important. I feel like it's definitely a little bit more present, and she's cute. All right, I'm giving you Campbell soup, kid. I know. I hope y'all heard that. I think somebody's turning into a werewolf. What the f? Okay. Oh, all right. This is my last video. It was good knowing you. 2024, you're the werewolf. All right, I like it. She's cute. Definitely a little bit lighter than I expected, but you know what? Now I kind of want to put it on my nose just to be that bitch. But I'm not mad at it though. Okay, now I look like I'm sick. You know when you just fly a little too close to the sun? That's me. just flying a little too close to the sun. I haven't done makeup in a while, all right? Excuse me. Okay, she's kind of cute. I like her. I like her. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take this shade over here, which is the highlighter shade, and we are going to use that as a highlighter. Oh, and she does not disappoint as a highlighter. Yep. She doesn't disappoint. Okay. All right. I don't hate it. I don't know. I guess I was expecting more. The highlighter I think is completely on point, but I don't know. The blush is like, this is probably the best match for me. But, but I just love looking like a garish clown. And I think the fact that I can't do that with this product kind of scares me. Kind of scares me, to be honest with you. But I mean, I do look cute though. I look like I have my together, which is good because clearly I don't. But I give the appearance that I do, and that's really all that matters because it's a fake it till you make it kind of society that we live in. So I think this is good. I think this is fine. I think we could with this, all right? I think we could with this. Let's that. All right, so now that I have that out of the way, let's do the eyeshadow. Okay, so I did prime my eyes with my favorite eye primer as of late, which is from Sigma. Bitch, it's the best. It really is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the shade Nurture, and I am going to put that all over the crease area. She blends out very beautifully with ease, which is really good. I remember there was a point in time when I absolutely hated the creamy matte formula because I felt like it was just too stiff, very difficult to work with, and either it was very, very patchy or just lifted the out of my eye. When I think about the Metropolis palette, for example, which I know a lot of people loved, and that was a palette that just was not for me. Not a fan of that palette, but this though, this is good. She lays down wonderfully. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Loyalty, which is this beautiful kind of creamy matte over here. And I'm going to take this and just start blending out those edges just to make this eyeshadow look a little bit more blended, put together, and softer. I'm just gonna take my Super Stay Maybelline powder. Just wanna just make this little area a little bit lighter in the corner here. You know, I don't really love those two shades together because it's kind of coming off like a little muddy and gray. I don't understand what the that's about, but okay. All right. I don't know. It just kind of looks a little dirty. Not a fan of that. So I'm going to go into the shade Balance, and we're going to gently kind of put that in the outer corner and then massage that into the crease. There is a little bit of fallout with that shade, but like, yeah, it's all right. Not the end of the world. So I want to go in with clean, fluffy brush. It just looks a little muddy and I don't know, kind of more gray, which is kind of weird. So I don't know, I wasn't anticipating that, I wasn't expecting that. So I'm just gonna build up a little bit more in the outer corner. Take a little bit more of that Nurture shade just to blend those two out. Yeah, I like that. I like how it looks, but again, it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to find an even smaller brush or something. I'm gonna take this again. Basically taking my setting powder and just blending out those edges just to make it like a little less muddy. Looking a little bit better. It's kind of coming off more brown than anything. So what we're gonna do now is take a little bit of NYX glitter glue. Wow, they are very similar. Okay, so both the metallic shades kind of really similar. Love that for me. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, we're gonna try both. Okay, try both, see how it works. So I'm gonna start with the darker shade, which I mean, she's very pretty. And I think, honestly, I think just that all over the lid is enough. But we have to see how the other shade is. No, there's a difference, there's a difference. Kind of. But the question is it that noticeable though? I don't know. I don't think it's that noticeable. I love the color. I think that's great, but I feel like the actual difference between the two is not super noticeable. I don't know, like if you were to see me in the street, would you know that they're two different shimmers? I don't know. I really can't tell the difference. I mean, a little bit. So what I'm gonna do now, go back into the darkest brown shade just to build up that outer corner. And then I'm going to use that same shade and use that as a liner. So I use a little bit of the shade Crystal Crush from ColourPop in the waterline, because I mean, this look is demanding blue. It just is, it is. I'm gonna use that Nurture shade. I'm gonna throw that in the lower lash line and just take a clean, fluffy brush just to buff it out. I'm gonna throw on some mascara, do my other eye, and then we're going to talk about it. So here's the completed look, and I messed up. I messed up hardcore, but it's a happy accident. Okay, so when I was doing this eye look, I applied the one shade Nurture a little bit too high. So when I was using the shade Balance to kind of blend it out, I didn't feel like it was all that balanced. I just didn't feel like it was. It still kind of looked a little bit just, I don't know, too dark for this portion of my eye. So that's when I introduced the Maybelline Super Stay Powder, and by using that powder, it definitely overtook this look to be a little bit more like gray. So I kind of feel like it's a little bit more Natasha Denona glam and less My Dream palette. So kind of be careful of that. If you are going to be using setting powder or anything to kind of like buff out the edges, you can definitely make this a little bit more gray toned. So that's kind of weird, but kind of like a happy accident. And the reason why I noticed that is because when I was applying the eyeshadow on this eye, I was like, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like it's mauve. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know if you're gonna really notice it. I feel like the difference can be a little bit subtle, but I notice it. Yeah, especially like right over here. If you look like up here to over here, this is definitely way more gray, while this is a little bit more like mauve, brown, a lighter brown. So yeah, I like both looks. I think they're really, really pretty, but they're just definitely two different colors. So who would have thought? You can do multiple eye looks with this palette. All right. So let me talk a little bit about the things that I like about the palette, and then we'll end with the things that I don't like about the palette. So the things that I like about the palette is, one, I love the creamy matte formula, which is something I thought I would never ever say in my life, because when I first tried the creamy matte formula, I hated it, but now we have grown a bond. We're like adorable sisters that fight constantly, but ultimately still love each other. I love how easy they are to blend. Well, yes, I did have a little bit of kind of like issues on this side because I felt like it was a little bit patchy. I just didn't give myself, I don't know, time. I was kind of rushing a little bit, which shame on me, I shouldn't have done that. When I was taking my time with this side, I noticed how just beautiful and seamless and how just, I don't know, gorgeous everything looks. So I'm a huge fan of those mattes. I just think they're creamy, they're beautiful, they're very easy to use, they're incredibly pigmented. But if you do kind of get in trouble, you can blend it out, as long as you take your time. Don't be like me and try to rush through it. Otherwise you think, oh, it's not blending out. What is going on? That's a me problem, not a Natasha Denona problem. I like all three shades that are in this palette. I love that we have a nice dark chocolate brown. Not only does it make for a beautiful outer corner shade, but it also makes for a wonderful liner shade as well. So this is all good. I didn't experience any extreme fallout. Well, I did have a little bit of fallout with the darkest brown shade. It was very, very easy to clean. So I didn't feel like I had any sort of like unnecessary like little shards of falling down my face. So that's great. Now, the thing that like I love and hate about this palette are the metallic shades. Well, I think they operated very beautifully, meaning that I didn't experience any sort of glitter. There was no nonsense with the glitter glue. Everything just adhered so beautifully. There's no weird texture. Everything was just so soft and lovely, and it just looks so beautiful. My issue is that they are very, very, very similar. So if you do want to use both of the shades, it's gonna essentially look exactly the same. So that is like my biggest complaint about the palette. Well, yes, they are both very beautiful. I think they should have just stuck with the lighter shimmer and then made this shimmer either really, really dark, or what would have been nice is if they introduced another multi-chrome, because that's what's really cool about the My Dream palette. You have this nice little multi-chrome, and while it's not my favorite multi-chrome formula, it's still very, very good. It would have been really, really lovely to see this type of formula within this palette. I think that would have been really adorable. And considering they did that with the Triochrome palette, there's no excuse not to have that in this palette. So I kind of am left with scratching my head a little bit, because it's like I see what they're going for, and I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I think this is my type of color story, basic and boring bitch. But I think what makes the My Dream palette special is that while yes, it's a predominantly basic bitch palette, you have this really beautiful multi-chrome down here that just, I don't know, kind of gives the palette a twist. And I think they could have done that with this palette. I don't know, like that's where it misses the mark for me. So I feel like this could have been so much more, but it's not. So Not a huge fan of that. But if you're in the market for a wonderful little basic bitch palette that is pretty much like a staple, I would say this is probably akin to like the mini nude palette. I feel like it's within that camp. I think you will absolutely love it. Actually, hold on. I want to see my other little mini palettes because I'm curious to see if there's any overlap. So I just looked at all the little mini palettes that I have and I don't see any sort of kind of crossover, which is really nice. So yeah, I think this is definitely like the cool tone version of the mini nude palette. So if you want a basic bitch that is cool tone, this is going to be for you. But if you have the option between the mini versus the big, I say get the big palette because the big palette again has the multi-chrome, which ultimately makes this palette more special. Well, I love this. I love the color story. It's a sleepy little bitch. You already seen it. You already have it. There's nothing like super special about it. That is why if they included that multi-chrome shade in here, it would have been a game changer. But who am I? Someone that obviously doesn't know. So so yes, good quality, but like, yeah, you don't really need it. So let's move on to the little mini Dream Glow blush. This wasn't bad, but I'm not obsessed with it. I think the pan embossing is my favorite part of this little guy. Actually, that and the highlighter. The highlighter is great. Like the highlighter is everything you want it to be. She is a strong bitch. We love an alien slut highlighter and she delivers. But the other two colors, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I thought it was going to be a little bit more stronger in the pigmentation department. It was definitely on the softer side, which required me to build it up quite a bit. And I don't know, maybe it was just a choice of bronzer that I was wearing today, but I felt like I couldn't see it. It wasn't after like, I don't know, 6 coats where I felt like, oh wow, there you are. Hi, hun. And it looks okay. It looks good, but it wasn't anything to really write home about. Now, I did get a little bit stronger on this side, which is kind of funny. I don't know why this side of my face today, just not having it, but this side, okay. So when I applied it on this side, I could definitely see the blush clearly. And I can see if you do build it up, it can be a little bit garish, which I like because I love looking like a clown. And if you don't like looking like a garish clown, well, good news is that you can blend it out to have a much softer watercolor moment. And I think it's really pretty. I love how I look. I look dainty and soft and someone that doesn't say every other word. And I like that. I like being a catfish at the end of the day. And I think there are some good aspects to this product, but I don't know, I'm not completely sold on it. I think it's nice, but I don't know if this is a product that I would necessarily keep going back to. When I think about some of my favorite blush formula as of late, one palette in particular, do I have it in front of me? Do I have it in front of me? Don't have it in front of me, but it's this little guy, this little NARS palette. That's so good. That NARS palette is everything. If you can find this one, get it. It is just, oh, it's so good. The formula on that little bitch is just lovely. And it was one of those formulas that as soon as I applied it, I just fell in love. And with this, it wasn't even lust. It was like, okay, this is nice, but like, I don't know, like I'm not wowed by it. I don't know, just didn't really do it for me. What I do love though is the price point. I think 20 bucks is great, but when I think about other blushes that are fantastic, like in the drugstore realm, that are at least like half the price, I'm like, is it that good? I guess for Natasha Denona standards, yes, because the luxury brand. And even though she is mini, she's not really that mini. Like she has a good size, so maybe it's not that bad. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little too hard on it. But I had, I don't know, a different set of expectations. I wanted to be more wowed by this product and I wasn't. And that kind of is a little bit of a letdown. But that's my own personal preference. At the end of the day, yes, she's there, she's beautiful. And maybe this is a product that, I don't know, maybe has to grow on me. So it's like, it's not a product. It's just, I guess I had different expectations and it's not like the most amazing soul-sucking thing. It's just okay. And in 2024, I don't want to just be okay. Like I want things, especially spending my hard-earned money, I want things to wow the shit out of me. And this was just okay. This was just okay. Do you really need this collection? That's on you. If you really feel something for this, just know that the quality is good. The quality's solid, especially with the eyeshadow palettes consistent with other Natasha Denona palettes. This, while cute, is probably, it's my least favorite out of the two, but still two fine, wonderful products. Yeah, but if you do want to pick them up, you can save a little bit of money if you go to Natasha Denona's website directly and use the code garbage. You could save money off your order. Now, these were not sent to me by the brand. I did pick them up and I picked them up at Sephora. So you can also pick them up there. I'm not sure if they're at Ulta, but if they are, I will leave the link down below. So yeah, now I actually want to hear from y'all. Do you want this? Anybody? Do you want it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know because I love hearing from you. And of course, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As always, feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and to my beautiful, wonderful YouTube members and patrons, thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, trashy, really filthy, really gross, really nasty, really disgusting garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do without you, and I love your adorable little delicious faces. I just want to gobble you all up so you live inside my belly and we can be one. If you want to know the other products that are on my face, everything you need to know will be listed in the description box down below, and I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.